Evening, everybody, and welcome to a very rushed 40 runs. Literally, just turned the computer on about 3 minutes ago. No, 3 seconds ago. Anyway, how is everybody doing? And welcome to Bitesize, our Monday show, where we talk about running shoes, gear, whatever, really. Just chat with you guys, hang out with you guys. If you're listening to this as a podcast, thank you very much. Enjoy your run. Make sure you run nice and easy, especially in this warmer weather that we've currently got over here in the UK. If you are watching this live, you'll probably see that I'm a bit sort of sunburnt, and it is what it is, but we'll just worry about that later. And if you are watching this live, make sure you get all your questions, comments in the live chat that we've got running down the sides, whether you want to talk about, I don't know, the Nike Infinity 4, the video we put out today about the Metaspeed Sky and the whatever it was, or the whatever you want to talk about, stick it in there and we'll work our way through that as we go. So there was a good weekend, busy weekend for me. We did over 600 miles this week and just gone traveling across the UK, and that video from our runners weekend, as we've now called it, because I'm copying 100% Kafuzi, which I hope he doesn't mind, but that's going to come out probably this weekend if I can get it edited. He's a big old boy trying to do some of those longer form videos, which I really enjoy making. Actually, they're the ones I really enjoy doing, because it's us having fun and doing what we do best, which is mucking around. So yes, thanks to everybody who said hello on Friday in Newcastle, or I saw over the weekend in general in Southend or whatever. I really appreciate it. And actually, the all the guys got a lot of love this weekend. We were out and about across the country for the podcast. So thanks very much to everybody who is what's this, Gary? I'm just sorry. Gary's just noticed somebody's waiting for your Friday show to start, Heroes. But yeah, thanks to everybody who just says hello and says they listen to the podcast, and and all that kind of stuff. It's just awesome. It just blows us away, really. Yeah, so thanks to everybody who did that. Where are we with shoes this week? So Trinusa 15 actually is here. I'm holding it up to the camera if you're watching the podcast. Trinusa 15 is here. I put a video out last week about the Trinusa 14, which if you're after a summer shoe for under £100, I think the 14 is definitely the way to go. It's a lot of fun. It's a great shoe. Don't have to necessarily wear a pair of socks in the summer with it. And it's basically this shoe. This has got a little bit more stack. Flight foam still in here, which is, I think, a little bit softer. Feels it. But yeah, it's pretty much the same shoe, to be honest. But yeah, so the Trinusa is a great shoe. I'm not going to talk about that shoe because I want you to wait for the video to come out on the shoe that I was going to talk about. But I better not talk about that. But when it comes out, I'm holding back because it really is, I think, going to be one of the best shoes of the year. Let me know if you're watching live what you think that shoe is going to be. Put it down in the comments. What shoe I think is one of the best shoes, if not the best shoe of the year. Put that down in the comments. What else? Yeah, that's probably about it in terms of we've got some other bits and bobs coming through, but I'm not really, I've got to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what day it is. So we'll have to wait and see what's coming and going. We've got a couple of vlogs this week on the channel. We've got the Global Running Day, which was good fun in with Brooks up in London. We've got a vlog coming out of that. Obviously, we put the Blade and Races video out today, which I'd recommend anybody in the UK who's not done that. I would really recommend doing the Blade and Race. It was a fantastic event, mainly because of the people of the Northeast, the vibe, the community spirit around it. And it was just a really good place to go and run. I love the Great North Run, and it did feel like a mini Great North Run. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, to go and do the Blade and Race. It's steeped in history. It's like dates back to like over 150 years old or something. The races and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth doing it if you can do it. I know it's got limited field. I think this year they had 4,750 people do it, something like that. I've got to give a shot. Actually, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Hang on. Just showed it on the pod, on the live stream. Start Fitness, because they had us up all weekend. So thanks very much to those guys. Big shout out to them. And don't forget, you can use the code 40 runs, get 10% off So make sure you do that. Also, thinking about Start Fitness, we are close to agreeing and putting together the final plans for the Shakeout Run at the Great North Run. So if you're coming up, think about coming up on Saturday. We're hoping to do it around midday. It's not confirmed 100% yet, but we're hoping to do that on midday at the Great North Run. We really want to make that quite an epic adventure. We've got some other cool things that we're planning around doing that Shakeout Runs. I think you guys will enjoy that. So if you're, when the train times come out, or however you're getting there, or if you're local and you're going to be traveling in, then I'd really recommend you think about the Saturday sort of around lunchtime and how that sort of works, because we're hoping to do a big Shakeout Run for the Great North Run. I think that'd be epic. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, meet you guys. So right. Evening, everyone. Let's run through quickly. So evening, Dawn. Evening, Bam. Great to see you yesterday. Evening, Martin. Evening, David. Around the world. Apple Tree. Tom's asking how everybody's getting on. We're getting on just fine. Penny's in the house. Nice to see you yesterday. Gary, thanks very much. Sound of Vision is on point. Yes, Mark, great to see you yesterday. Mr. Smashing out in his Vaporfly 2s. Where is it? Paul Edwards. Evening all. Midday trail run today. Trash me. It's very humid. As I said, it's very warm over here in the UK. Let us know if you're listening to from somewhere else in the world, what it's like near you. I'm very interested. Oh, that's a good point. Thanks to everybody who really liked Friday's pre-record. I've had a lot of really nice messages on Instagram, on email, people coming up and telling me over the weekend as well. But just, and also messaging Hayden as well, because he co-hosted that with me. Oh, sorry, he interviewed me actually. So thanks very much for the positive feedback from that. I was reluctant to do that podcast straight up. I didn't really want to do that. Because as I always say about 40 Runs, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. But it was kind of cool, worked out well. But I really appreciate the positive feedback that's come out of that. So thank you very much again to everybody who's messaged me about that. What's this about Garmin? Wanted to ask if anybody else used Garmin. I have Fenix Pro 6, but looking at the Epics. I saw actually, I was in Start Fitness, was doing some filming in there at the weekend, and somebody was buying one. I've got to be honest with you, I'm so happy with my 965 Garmin. I just don't see why you'd want any other watch. It's lighter than those two watches. It's got the AMOLED or whatever it's called, screen type, I know what it's called, which is bright. Again, I'm holding it up on the podcast. It makes no difference to you guys. But I like the screen. I like the functionality of it. I like everything that it does. It's simple. You've got to remember, I am an idiot and I can use it. So if you're looking for a Garmin, personally, I think the 965 is the bee's knees. I just don't see why you'd need anything else, personally. The 265 is, ample enough. But if you want to get something that's got a little bit more, should we say stuff on it, then I would go 965. I really would. Somebody's just put AMOLED is difficult to see in the direct sunlight. I've not had a problem with that. But I'm glad you gave us that feedback. I ran it obviously yesterday in Southend, where it was like hotter than the sun, and it was really bright sunshine. I didn't have an issue with it, but I'm glad you said that, because other people might be saying the same thing. Yesterday, yeah, Bam Bam's great to see you yesterday. Email. Who's this? Kurt. He's on holiday in Fuerteventura. Still running here though. Is it warmer or is it cooler, Kurt? Over there, let us know. Be very interested to know wherever that is. Yeah, there's Gary says. So Gary, your job now is to find out who that person is and to make sure that they know that Friday they've got a long way till Friday show. Maybe they want to watch this. But yeah, so there we go. What's this? This is called Any plans to visit Scotland? Not Edinburgh, obviously. I mean, yeah. What other runs are there in Scotland? Let's have some. Tell me what we could do that for the summer UK tour 2024. We're open to that. We are very happy to travel around the country where we can. So yeah, let me know what runs should we do in Scotland. I'm very happy to do that. If I can talk the boys into coming, I'm sure they will. I think you'll like the video. It's basically us mucking about. I'm not doing the Loch Ness Marathon, Penny, but nice try. I want something in the summer. So this sort of time of year. Because what we could do is we could do Bladen and then we could go up. So is there something up then we could then come down to? Maybe we could do, how about this? This would be an epic adventure. We'd go Bladen, then you go up to do a park run in Scotland and then fly back down for another race. That'd be pretty awesome. What's this? 40. Would you agree West Ham are massive? I would agree that. I was very impressed. I watched, it's the only football I've watched for the last, basically since Spurs being absolute toilet. But I watched the Europa, whatever it was, final, and I thought they were very impressive, and I was pleased. A lot of my mates back at school were West Ham supporters. I went and saw West Ham when I was a kid. So I was well pleased for them. I'm not one of these people that dislike sort of other teams. Obviously, I don't particularly care for some. But West Ham, I've always been fond of, per se, because most of my friends when I was growing up supported West Ham. So I've always had a soft spot for them. I was very, very pleased about that. Who's this? Hi, Fordy. It was nice to say hello at Bladen Races. I've got to pick with you. There we go. One of the legends, Lauren, who said hello. Lauren, it was really nice. I was really taken aback by how many people knew us up there. It's kind of weird. It's kind of bizarre that sort of, what we do is travel up there. But as I said, it was just really nice to see, people coming up and talking to Hayden and saying, he watches the show, listens to the show and that kind of stuff, or saw this, or saw that, or got some of the jokes, obviously, that we muck about with and all that sort of stuff. So, it was really cool. What have we got here? Gavin, evening, Chris. Finally caught up with the podcast episode with Hayden. There we go. So, that was good timing, Gavin. Thank you very much. Yeah, bloody brilliant stuff. So check that out. That was the last show we did. Obviously, this will come out as a podcast. So it was the first episode before this one. So check that out. I can't remember what it's called. It's like something like Who Am I or something like that, which is a nod to Les Miserables, which I probably should be in. I'm that talented. Looking forward to the Trinusa review. My favourite daily trainer. Yeah, the Trinusa. It's a shoe with a soft spot for me. It's this is the fourth version I've had, I think. I just love them. For the summer, they're just lightweight, and you can, as I said, don't have to worry about socks or anything like that. You can just slip them on. I run when I'm on holiday, so I'm taking them with me, and I just love them. I really do. I think they look cool. I know that's not for everybody, but I think they look cool. They feel great, and for the summer months and all that kind of stuff, I just think they're pretty awesome, to be honest with you. I really, but there's not much difference there between. So that's why I said in that video, go and buy 14, because it's the best summer shoe you can buy. So if you just want a shoe, to brighten up your summer, go and do it. That's a good point. We've got a thing coming out soon for all you guys for summer. Something to keep you busy, something to keep you occupied. So keep an eye out for that. Boom Shanker something or other. 40, the Bladen race is banging. Thank you very much, Alf. I appreciate that. Yeah, we knocked that Bladen race video up pretty quickly. Got that out. So it's part one of the what we've got coming out. Quite a bit of coming out in terms of the vlogs. Trying to do a little bit more of that at the moment. Obviously, we've got all the shoes and things like that will keep trucking out, and that's great. But as always, we try and do a little bit of everything on the channel. We are shoe heavy, which is great. But 40 Runs is about the being out there and being with people and doing races and all that kind of stuff. Yes, you've got my training, which will start properly, I dare say, next week. But, in a week or two, I've got a few races coming up. But yeah, so it'll always be a mix of that. It's always important for me to mix it out. Yeah, the shoes are great and all the other stuff that we do in terms of the reviews. But I really want to try and keep, that core content of us doing stuff, because I think that's important, and seeing you guys, and especially out at races and things like that. That's just the best thing ever. Here we go. What's this? David Turner's just finished every podcast that we've ever done, and there's over 100 of them back to back. Nothing to listen to now. David, just start again from the beginning. It's easy as that. Good evening from sunny Portsmouth. I think some of the guys are coming down to the Great South Run in October. So, make sure you do. Completely random question. We like a random. Does the channel get paid less if we're impatient and skip the ads before your vids start. I'll be honest with you, I've got no idea. And the ad revenue is, we don't have 100 and something thousand subscribers, people. So I appreciate you asking the question, though. Just doing your little bit to help out, which is, again, actually a good point about thanking all the members of the channel who pay a couple of quid every month just to support the channel. I really do appreciate that. And somebody today did a super thanks thing as well, which is really kind. That all helps, obviously, the channel as well. So I really do appreciate it. I genuinely do. I think, again, if you listen to the podcast on Friday, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Evening, Gary. I ran what's this? I mean, on day 2 of 365 days of running, and we actually did an episode about this, these run streaks. So I'd listen back to that. I take my hat off to you in terms of doing a run streak for 365. I don't think I've got the mental capacity to do a run streak like that. I find I need rest. Rest is really good for me. But I would just easy, very easy. I would just try and enjoy it as much as you can, and don't obviously run too fast. But I would just try and enjoy it as much as possible. The challenge. So, evening, lovely people. And you, Sandra. Gary's been volunteering at the 100-mile ultra in Scotland. Oh, Jesus. What we got here? Tarn, apologies if I said that wrong. The Long Run Podcast got me through 21 hours and 49 minutes moving time and 75 miles at the Reading Endure this weekend. Well done you. Firstly, for listening to us talk absolute rubbish for that period of time, but well done for completing that. That's epic. I know there's a big contingent of 40 runners going down to Harp 24 this weekend. So if you're down there, make sure you get involved. Who's just been using the Start Fitness code on the Velocity Nitro 2s? Thanks so much. 50 quid including. But yeah, there is honestly, right? You guys know now that we do some stuff with Start Fitness. But if you're going on there and they've got your size, you can really pick up some bargains. I picked up a GB Athlete from the Olympics. That's why I've got GB Athlete up there, just to wind Hayden up. I picked up this like Olympics or whatever it was jacket. It's really nice. Adidas jacket. With my discount, I used my no, I didn't. I used Steph's one, but I got it for 18 quid, and the jacket is blinding. It is, it's great, just to put on race morning, that sort of thing. And it was 18 quid. If you can get it right, you can get some absolute bargains there. I'm telling you now. Evening, JBS hero. He definitely needs to do blading. David Long ditched the kids and came to Southend. What a legend, although probably shouldn't promote that. Run the World is saying that she loves the 955. Yeah, I didn't have the 955, it was a 965. I think we might have reviewed the 955 on the channel, though. Will you be bringing out 40 socks? Guys, you tell me. Are you interested in having some 40 socks? You tell me. I've got no idea. It's not something I've ever really seriously thought about. I've mucked about with it in terms of talking to some brands about doing some, but if that's something you really would, then go for it. Here we go. If you want an active matrix, just get the 955 instead. Chris is right. The Forerunner is better for running. Okay, so there you go. So JBS is saying get the 955 instead of the other ones. Richard's run the Bristol Half. He ran 2 hours and 50 minutes yesterday. I did the Swansea Half, 2 hours and 29 of Vaporfly. I've been injured for 3 months. I believe running every day might have helped me. Yeah, I mean, just take it easy, Richard. Don't chase times at the moment. If you've been injured, just slowly but surely come back. Don't push it too hard. Okay, it's really important not to go nuts, especially when it's this hot as well. But if you come back from injury, just take it easy. I know it's frustrating. You want to go running and you want to go hard, but honestly, you just got play for the long-term win. Kurt said it was hot. Early morning runs to avoid much heat, but sounds like I need to do heat training for the UK. Yes, it is warm over here, bro. Kurt, it is warm at the moment, but I like it hot. Yesterday was probably a little bit too hot down at Southend. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that yesterday. Ben was broken, which was good fun. I always enjoy seeing him broken. but the mainly because then I can get some pictures because he's not bending me. But yeah, it's I really enjoy running training in the summer. I just really enjoy it. What's this? A great Scottish run. Get yourself up Ben Nevis too. It said, when is the great Scottish run? Let me know. Just tell me. And there we go. This is good info from Penny. So this could be it, boys. So if you're listening to this, Hayden or Toby, when you listen to this back, if you do, then I think summer tour next year, we do a bit of Scottish Park run because it's at 9:30. We could fly in for it. There we go. What about that? Right, finally got through to a shoe question. Are carbon shoes any good for a non-speed runner? Yes. Are carbon shoes any good for a non-speed runner? Yes. I think if you can afford a pair of carbon plate shoes, get them. I ran the Southend Half yesterday in the Magic Speed 3. They were absolutely fine. That's £160. I'm guessing that's going to get discounted down quite quickly because really you're probably better off just buying the Endorphin Speed 3 or another pair of shoes, which I'm not willing to talk about at the moment. But you can get that for £160. And it does just as good a job probably as some of the other carbon plate shoes out there. It was fine yesterday. Just watch your sizing. So, yes, I think if you can afford a pair of carbon plate shoes, then get them. Obviously, I've said and I've done videos about the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite and the Elite 2. You can get them on Start Fitness really cheap. It's a great shoe. It's a fun shoe. That's what I would do, yeah, always. Going to treat myself, Steve. Sorry, Steve's going to treat himself to a new pair of daily shoes when I'm back from this broken toe. Recommendations. If you're looking to save some money, I would go the Reebok Energy Float Ride number 5. That's a shoe you can pick up super, super cheap. If you want a slight bit of guidance, then why not go for the Puma Forever Run Nitro. The Go Ride 11 Skechers is super comfortable. Like unbelievably comfortable. There's so many out there. You've got the Cumulus 25. Obviously, then you can go up to like the Nimbus 25. There's so many good shoes out there, or you can go the other way and pick up a pair of Velocity 2s from Start Fitness for 50 quid. That's the other way. Here we go. KD, my feet don't like the Saucony Pro 3s. Well, funny enough, I wore them at Blaydon. And yes, they were good, and we ran okay. We didn't run hard because we had Southend, but it did remind me the Pro 3, the Saucony Pro 3, why I like my Adidas Pro 3 so much. They're just a much more stable ride. I just feel a little bit more in control with the Pro 3 from Adidas. I did roll my ankle in the Pro 3 Saucony, but that's not their fault. There's a pothole. But I don't know. There's just something about the Adidas Pro 3 that suits me and works for me. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. So I would look at them is where I would go. I think Ben actually picks them up from an outlet store. He was wearing a white pair yesterday. So I would I'd have a look at them. Andy is asking for a marathon training shoe for overpronators. He's got the Adidas Pro 3 for race day, and he loves the shoe. Funny enough, we just talked about that. Overpronators marathon training shoe. I would maybe look at the Mizuno Wave Inspire, which is a little bit out there. I appreciate that, but I think that's a really built-up shoe, but in a good way. It's got a decent amount of stability, and it's got an incredible outsole on it, and it will last you for a long, long time. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it's definitely a shoe to consider, and you can pick them up cheap. Also, again, I've said it before, in terms of guidance, is the Puma Forever Run. I think that's a great shoe for marathon training. The Super Blast is probably a little bit too unstable if you really are an overpronator. Gary says, smash the like button. Yeah, come on, guys, get with the program. You should have done that by now. Right. So let's move on. So Robert Smith, he's run the Jersey Half Marathon yesterday. I bet that was hilly. Can't believe the noise the Alpha Block. Funny enough, Robert, you say that there was a geezer yesterday, and I must have heard him 10 minutes before I saw him, and he was making a right old racket in them. He really was. I don't rate them as much as I used to. I think the fact that I sold my Alpha Fly 2 tells you everything. And I switched it out for the Adidas Pro 3. I think that tells you everything. Although I'm very, very, very hopeful about the new Alpha Fly. So let's see what happens there. That'd be awesome. But I do rate them. I've run marathons in the shoe. Big fan of version 1. So I think I was at a 348, 349 I ran in a pair of V1s. So I'm very comfortable in the shoe, but V2, I just preferred the Adidas Pro 3. And yes, they are bloody noisy. They really are. What's this? Running the London Big Half in September from a previous video on YouTube. Is it? Okay, Tom. The Big Half, right, is disappointing because the first part of it, you're in a tunnel, right? So it's very hard to get any form of sort of picture where you're at. So you need to run to your overall time. You've then got the section on the cobbles, which is just murder, but the elites run over it, so we shouldn't be moaning. The crowds in Canary Wharf are good. The section, around like Green Hive and all that's a bit that it's just, I don't know. I think it's because there's much better halves out there, but the biggest problem the Big Half has, right, is where it finishes. Greenwich is a biggest pain in the bum to get out of, really, to be honest. And I think that's the thing. I would really recommend doing what the guys at the 40 Runs do, and that's going to the pub. If you're relaxed and you don't mind going to a pub, which probably most of you do, I'm just one of the people who doesn't like going to a pub. I get terrible anxiety in pubs. But if you don't mind doing that, then go to the pub, and I think you'll probably have a good race. But I don't know. It's just there's so many better half marathons out there. It is really well organised in terms of the start. It's a rolling start, which is brilliant. Helped by our amazing volunteers from 40 Runs. Just get that in there. And I like where the start is. I think it's great. It's central. It works for a lot of people because if you're coming from the west or you're traveling because you've got a train in or whatever, I think that works. But to send everybody out to Greenwich to finish, which is great, by the way, around by Katie Stark, to finish in front of Katie Stark's awesome. But then to make you walk about 10 miles to get a T-shirt that probably doesn't fit you, it's just pointless. I think they just need to work somehow on the route. I think if they worked on the route and got us somehow back to London, but got us back into central London, I think that would work a little bit better. I think you'd really make a lot of people happy. But yeah, so there we go. Spent probably a bit too long on them. Julie has smashed Start Fitness using the code. Well done, good job. Gary's going to ask where you got the jacket. Yeah, I personally, Gary, I would message Hayden on Facebook Messenger and ask him what he thinks of the jacket. He absolutely loves it. Mike, if you were to pick 5 running songs, what would they be? It's 5 because they're from 5. I don't think I would pick one that Hayden sung on because he was in the band. Well, it was 6, but now it was 5. It would have to be something. It would probably be like Thunderstruck from AC/DC, Back in Black. Guns N' Roses, definitely some Guns N' Roses who I'm going to see in June. Some Iron Maiden in there, Run to the Hills. I know there's a bit of a theme there in terms of that sort of 80s, 90s. I wouldn't say heavy metal. I'd say maybe hard rock to a degree. That's probably where I'd go. But as a bit of a curveball, naturally, I would shove some country music in there as well because I'm a cowboy. Hope that helps. Pink socks. A lot of love for the pink socks. So maybe that is something that we will talk about. Swansea Half looks amazing. Oh, really? Okay. I've got some feedback from it. It wasn't. So I'd be interested to know if that's true or not, what you think about that. John's saying, what about a UK tour of the highest hills in England? Scotland and Wales running up and down Ben Nevis. Well, that's what we was going to do. We've done Snowdon. But I do like the idea of doing, like, as I said, park run somewhere and another cool race. Maybe in Ireland. That would be awesome. Get over to there. Let me know. But not like marathons. I'm talking like 10Ks, like something like that. That would be pretty cool. I'm just going to have a sip of drink because it's really, really hot in this office. Hang on. Got to stay hydrated, people. It's come around quick, but autumn marathon training starting for Mark. He's got Chester and Beachy Head. Yeah, it's. I really like marathon training in the summer. I really do. Northern Ireland. A lot of love for the socks here, guys. A lot of love. Yeah, Mark's loving the original Alpha Fly. I think the original one, was such a game changer for so many people. But yeah, I think it was just an epic shoe. And two, I don't know, it just didn't really seem to hit the mark for as many people. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. Some stuff here on about the tunnel at the big half. That is a warm tunnel. I enjoyed Southend Half Marathon yesterday. Southend, as I said, the video for the Magic Speed 3 in terms of the race, because some of you guys commented on the first video I did, which was the first impressions. I said I'll then come back after doing a race in them, which I think is the right thing to do because they're a bit of a racier shoe. And that's well, I might try and get that out this week. Actually, we'll see. We've got so many videos lined up to come out. But I will try and get that out this week, give you my feedback over the race distance, over that 13.1 miles in the shoe, to let you know how I get on, because you guys were asking for that. I think it's always good to give that feedback a bit quicker than sometimes where we wait because we've got other stuff that's coming out, things like that. So, yes, that will come out. Yeah, try and do that this week. Totally agree with the big half. There's better ones out there. Yeah, it's just that. It's just a little bit at the end. But I think they can do it because, it's London Marathon events. And they do big races. So they know what's going on. A lot of guys doing half marathons. Leamington half in 2 weeks. Off the top of your head, name some good halves. London Landmarks half marathon. Great North Run. Southend half. Just done it. So there's some half marathons. But I'd like to get around and do some other half marathons next year, really. So let me know if you've got any good ones out of the sort of norm. I've got A6 10K coming up. I've got some couple of local races coming up, Wear 10s and some summer solstice thing, which I'm only going to because it's got barbecue. But what else? Yeah, it's a funny old thing. But yeah, but really, we've got to start marathon training. I've got to get my butt into gear. I've got to train for some marathons. So we've got to do that. Penny's doing Chester, a few other people. Oh, what's the weirdest thing what's this? What's the weirdest you've seen given out at a race? Swansea half, there was no T-shirts. They were giving out T-shirts at Bladen. I thought that was kind of cool. They didn't do a medal, which would have upset Simon, but I got this T-shirt that I'm wearing tonight. Don't worry, it has been washed. But I thought that was kind of cool, kind of unique. I haven't necessarily got a problem with no medal if there's a good T-shirt, and this is a good T-shirt. But yeah, I've seen some races where they give like cups out, things like this. I'm not. The bling is good. I mean, for the big marathons, I think it's important, that it's got something lumpy and it's kind of cool. Ben made me laugh yesterday. He was hammering Southend for giving out the wooden medal, which I get, but it's not really the end of the world for me. I don't know about you guys where you sit with this, but I'm not really overly fussed about medals. Outside of the sort of big events, signature events, let's call it. So I'm not really that fussed about them because all they do is go into a box, right? You can see behind me, I've actually cut some of this down because it was just out of control. But yeah, so I'm not overly fussed about the medal side of things. I think the T-shirt's kind of cool, but again, the T-shirts I'm not that fussed about because I wear 40 Runs running club tops, or I'll wear something from one of the brands that we're working with, or something like that, really. So as long as I think as long as there's something to acknowledge the fact that you've just completed that race, I think that's probably a good way of doing it. Do you get a T-shirt at the A6 10K? I'm not sure, Mark. The other year you didn't. Last year, that's what admin got them right up about. They were giving out these sort of Hessian bags things, and she was, because I don't know what the reason was why they weren't, but she got a raving up about it. So last year they didn't. They used to do quite good T-shirts, I think, when it was somebody different running it. But that might be changed because Hackney Half, who's run by Limelight, which is the same people, they gave out T-shirts this year. Although they didn't fit Toby very well. We've still not seen that T-shirt, but they did give out one. Someone's just asked a question. Hang on, stay there. I'm going to cut. Who was it? John E. John, we'll finish your question. I'm conscious of time, but we'll finish with it. I'll show you that hoodie because I've got my one's actually just been delivered. It's in a bag down here. I'll open it up on here in a minute. Did one race where they didn't give out medals but gave out socks? See, what about that then? That could answer your question, guys. We could give out at one race 40 socks. Everyone gets a pair of 40 socks. Imagine that. Imagine people getting out with that. It's like people getting out when I was wearing my GB athlete jacket. Why get aggravated by that? There we go. Pink socks is a must. Okay, all right, Mick. I'm on it. I'll send an email after this. I'll send an email. There's another question. Daniel, evening, Daniel. I'm off to Denmark in September to do the Copenhagen half marathon. I'd like to know what that's like, Daniel. Let me know. Come back. Any tips for traveling and recovering quickly? The most obvious thing, which is really boring.com, is to hydrate, sleep, get your recovery in properly. I think that's the key to anything like that. But yeah, hydration and rest. Track is. Oh, shouldn't have had that drink. Who should I blame? I'm going to blame Mick for that. It's only the name I'm looking at. Me. Don't take it personally. But yeah, honestly, I would just hydrate and recover. And maybe, I wouldn't necessarily go down the lines that I do and track every minute of my sleep because I'm obsessed with it. But I would really, really try and work on that recovery. Like I said, I think on the podcast the other week, I'm really been, going to try and work on my recovery in this next marathon training block. That for me is key. With quite a lot coming at me, and I'm going to really try and increase the workload, the recovery element is going to be probably the most important part of that. So I would do the same if you've got 2 weeks after that. I don't know whether you're going to go hard in Copenhagen or not, but I would really recommend doing that. Ben's got a question. I'm going to come back to John. I did the run through Birmingham Running Festival half marathon in May. Didn't appear on the official results. That's worse than a wooden medal. Well, it is if you didn't run a time, Ben. If you put a shift in and then didn't show up, that'd be a bit of a nightmare. Cardiff half's good. Yeah, is that the one that's flat? Because that's the one they say there's one in Wales that's really flat. I'd like to do that. Whichever one it is. Right. So where's John? Right, so John's asking, we put the new 40, the FR, so the crew hoodies. Right, hang on, John, we're going to open it up. We've gone back. We're proper Kafuzi tonight. We're probably unboxing again and unwrapping live on the podcast, on the live stream. Proper YouTuber tonight. How'd you like that? Oh, here we go. So apologies now if you're watching this on the podcast, but I'm showing up a hoodie. It's available on the 40 Runs website. You're welcome. Right, so for the camera, what do you think of that? So that's like raised embroidery, really. You seen it? And then on the arms, it should have. This is the first one, by the way. Yeah, and then on the arms, I don't know if you can see that. It's got embroidered the club logo. It's a good bit of advertising, isn't it? Be fair. Well done, John. Good question. And the same on the other one. So it's that sort of hoodie, but it's a sort of crew hoodie. I'll tell you what, this would look awesome on holiday with like my Trinusa hoodie. See what I did there? It's a bit cooler in the evenings. Good plug, John. Well done. So there you go. So that's a good way to end the show, isn't it? Good plug for the new crew hoodies. Legend. Right, that's it, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there because all I've done is basically plug merch. This Friday I'm on the show this Friday. We are talking about, and this might be interesting for some of you, because Kurt was asking about because I get asked this a lot, right, when I'm doing plans and stuff like this. But it's like, I've got to go, I'm going on holiday. What do I do? And all this sort of stuff. So it's quite an interesting topic. I don't know why you guys get stressed about it, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about summer running in general, and that kind of thing. So we thought it'd be, because it's so bleeding warm at the moment, we thought we'd touch on a little bit of that, which I think would be kind of cool, kind of a good discussion. Obviously, we'll unbox Bladen and some of the other bits, and I'm sure some other things would have come across us by then. We'll be looking also forward to the Harp 24, which a lot of the 40 runs guys are doing. Gary, need to do more live unboxing. I know, Gary, the problem is that when the stuff comes in, I'm so excited, I just open it. I don't even think it's all right for Mike because he does a daily live stream. But I get so excited when the stuff arrives that I open it up and then want to run in it or wear it. So it doesn't. You've got to be quite. See, if you're a brand, if you was like marketing a Saucony or something like that, you'd make sure the stuff was here for like a Saturday, or no, because I would have run in it for a Monday. So when I get home from work on Monday, it's here. That's if they're smart, that's what they would do. There we go. Right. So on that high note, we shall leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in live and for, again, making this show what it is, which is basically us all hanging out and chatting and talking rubbish, but about shoes and gear and kit and whatever's going on. Again, massive love to all the members of the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for supporting us. I really do appreciate it. Check out the show on Friday. Videos will be coming at you all week as usual. As I said, we've got a few vlogs this week. Look out for the video on Sunday. I think you're going to really dig it. It's a lot of us mucking about. I think you'll really enjoy that. And yeah, well, since you could just open it up, but open it up again and fake the reaction, Gary. What you what, you think I should just get some boxes, tape them up, even though I've been running them, tape them up and go, oh look. Like pretend that I'm, yeah, brilliant idea, Gary. I love it. Okay, so next week I'm going to fake open some boxes. I might just get some shoes out of the garage, put them in boxes and open them up. Be a proper YouTuber. How's that? Right, guys, I'm going to go. Oh, dear, brilliant show as always. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'll catch you all later. Have a great week.